Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
One, banging them out, one after another, rapid fire. Pow, 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 pow. This is Asshole Consulting, and if you have a problem and you want it solved, there's a choice. Here's the choice. Do you want it solved, or do you want to be like every fucking woman I've ever ran into, whether you just want to bitch about it? Because do you want it solved? We got solutions. If you just want to bitch about it, go hire a regular consultant or a therapist. They'll say, oh yeah, it's very interesting. Hang on, I'll do the thing. I'll do it too. If you don't want me to solve your problem, I can sit there with the pad. Oh yeah, it's very interesting. I'm doodling fucking porn on my pad. What? We solve problems at Asshole Consulting. Actually, we don't even solve problems. We tell you what to do. It's up to you to solve the problem. Hello, Mr. Cleary. I'm writing to ask you what next steps I should consider with my life. I'm a 35-year-old man living in Toronto, Ontario. I never graduated from college, and I've essentially been having fun enjoying my 20s and early 30s. Sounds like you're winning. I only have a small amount of credit card debt, less than 1,000 Canadian dollars, and no other debt to speak of. However, I also don't have much of a credit rating due to never having taken out a loan of any sort of line of credit. That wouldn't bother me, because unless you're going to buy a house or you need to borrow money, you don't need credit. That's the one that I don't know why everyone's all worked up with their credit score. Like, if I were to do it all over, I would have never bought a house. I would have just rented. Your credit score would be okay. You get your credit card and pay off your debt. That's enough to keep your credit score high, that people will employ you when a background check comes in. But beyond that, to show the world you're not a fucking parasite, it's only to borrow more money. And borrowing money is willingly selling yourself into slavery. So if you can don't worry about your credit score. Don't worry about it. As long as it's okay, you're fine. All in all, this is something I'm rather happy about. The downside to this is I'm not the best saver and have a bad habit of living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, personal budget. Get Bachelor Pad Economics. I even cite the Microsoft spreadsheet. It goes through. It's very simple. But don't tell me you don't know how to solve that. It's called a budget. You know what to do. Spend less than you make. It's very simple. I recently exited a dead bedroom relationship for 4 years. My dog and I are moving into an apartment in September. I'm looking forward to turning it into a decent bachelor pad. I'm not interested in dating for at least a year and probably longer, as I have a lot of work to do with losing weight and getting back in shape. Good man. I like to start my own small business so I can be my own boss and spend more time with my dog rather than leaving him alone all night while I work. I make $38,000 a year take home. That's not bad. And work Monday through Friday midnights. I'm extremely detached from the need to own and buy new things. I don't own a single piece of furniture that I paid money with. Most are hand-me-downs from friends and favors being paid off. I drive a 2000 Honda Civic, which I take care of myself mostly, and I am very interested in learning to live even cheaper. My only real desire to spend is on nice computers for PC, gaming, hobby, and other related tech hobbies. I am very sick of living in Canada. While I love our free healthcare for its convenience, I do not like where the country is headed culturally. I find myself wanting to live in the U.S. more and more. Places like Nevada, Arizona, and Colorado are especially appealing to me for their beautiful landscapes, and I've always felt I identify more with Americans than I do with my own countrymen. I don't even like hockey. However, I don't want to move somewhere that may collapse at any time. What I'm really asking, I guess, is what sort of options do I have open to me at this point? I feel as though the world's potentially my oyster. I'd like to get that pearl. Thanks a lot. Hope to hear from you soon. Chris. Well, thank you, Chris. Well, here's the deal. You need some goal. Something. Because you're getting by. You're doing fine. And what I would say is, with your budget and your minimalism, if you budget right and whatever you're pissing away your money on, one guy on $38,000 should be able to get by. I know Toronto's more expensive, but it sounds like you're pretty cheap. There should be money left over is what I'm saying. You shouldn't have credit card debt. So there should be some cash or something built up somewhere. So what I would do is this. You don't want to just pick up and go. Because as many pretty pictures as you see, and maybe a visit to the Grand Canyon, you actually have to spend a little bit of time in different places in the western United States before you say, holy shit, this is where I want to go. And on top of it, you may find out you don't like it. Again, I will cite Wyoming. It's beautiful. All the mountains and everything. The people make it the best site for nuclear testing and chemical weapons testing. It ruins it. The people fucking ruin the state. So you can have the most beautiful scenery in the world, but if half the fucking people are wigged out on what was the thing, meth, the other half is all on booze, and what was the other thing? And the men, holy shit, they're really protective of their women, even if they don't date them. Were you looking at my woman? What? No, I ordered a drink from her. She's a bartender. How am I not supposed to look? You better not be looking at her. You're not even dating her. We used to date back in middle school. Well, fuck you, Jessup. Drink some more. Anyway, so what I'm recommending you do, you have a job, cool. You live cheaply, get a budget, start saving up money, and with that money, start exploring. Now, before you think U.S., have you been to Revelstoke? Have you been to Banff? Have you been to Jasper? Have you been to Alberta and British Columbia? There are some. The West doesn't end north of the border. It continues on, and there's some beautiful land out there, and a completely different culture. And maybe it's not that you got to move into a different country, but maybe you just need to get the fuck out of Toronto. Okay. So that would solve any kind of immigration problem. I would first, especially while it's still summer, if you have a little bit of cash, go do a road trip, check out Banff, check out Jasper, do Revelstoke, Sycamus, Kamloops, although that's kind of like, it's like a shitty, it reminded me of Wyoming. It could be a great town. I had to repair my motorcycle there, and I ended up using duct tape. One of the greatest all-time fixes. I used duct tape on this weak spot of the tire, so I kept duct taping it, and the mechanics were kind of impressed when I pulled in. Anyway, I would explore the western provinces of Canada. I would avoid Vancouver because it's just like Seattle. It's just gonna be another metropolis shithole. There's got to be a town out west somewhere that you like in Canada. Now they say you have to settle for it. Now when winter hits and it's fucking cold up there, then I would go down south into the American West. And I agree with your selection of states. Nevada, Arizona. I would also suggest you look at Utah and South Dakota, although it's going to be cold during winter there too. But once you get on the west and south side of the Rockies, it gets really nice. So I would go check that area out and spend 2 weeks if you can in one place. All right? You'll be tempted to drive around. Maybe you should do one trip where you got 2 weeks and just drive all around, and then further narrow your towns and your areas in the American West that maybe you'd like to settle in. And then when you have another 2 weeks, go and visit that one area, that one town, and then maybe drive within a 100-mile radius to check out the entire area. But get to know spend time in Denver, spend time in Phoenix. I think Grand Junction is kind of cool because there's not a lot going on, but it's in the middle of everything. Vegas is a great place to check out. So spend some time there. And I'm sorry, this is investment. This is work. You're going to have to spend your vacation time doing research. Now, you have fun doing it, but you got to go and figure out. Now, no one does that. No, I got a job here. I'll go over here. Boy, this place sucks. I'm miserable. So do the upfront work now. Do your reconnaissance now. And then narrow it down as to where you'd like to go. This may be a 3-year process, and you may have to spend another 3 years in Toronto, but at least you got the money and you're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore after you get that damn personal budget together. Then what I would do, and you could damn well be 35 by the time this rolls around, then you say, okay, I know I really love this place. This is where I'm going to go. And then you either move there, you find a job first, and you move there, or in the case of the United States, you start applying for citizenship. So since that could be a possible outcome, what I would recommend, you start applying for U.S. citizenship now. Don't be like the fucking illegal aliens down in Mexico. Yeah, we're just coming in. And all the fucking women here in the United States vote to give them more money. Why are you just helping the poor? You're disadvantaged. You can give more money, work more. And then, so hopefully that will accelerate. I think it's a 5-year time. It depends. I'm not an immigration lawyer. But start now. Fill out the paperwork. Fill out the application. And then you'll have the option at least that maybe, okay, I can come down there. Maybe you get a work visa. Maybe the employers really like you. Now, the final thing that's going to make things a lot easier for you is if you can, I think you are in IT, aren't you? Well, regardless, with your small business that you would like to start, as I've mentioned before, you're going to want to start small and smart. You don't want to blow a ton of capital. You don't want to invest in a company you can't afford. Something that you can do from your laptop, something that is location independent, and that's going to be vital, because then it doesn't matter. You don't need a job. And that's a huge fucking variable to get rid of. What that is, I don't know. Don't ask me what kind of job you should start. Swear to God, I'll fucking come up there and murder your ass. Don't ask me what kind of business you should start. That, I don't know what that is. You have to figure that out. But I do know you're going to want it to be location independent, because then you can go out west. At any point in time, grab your laptop, and then just, I'm tired of Revelstoke. I want to go down to Sycamus. I'm tired of Sycamus. I want to go down to Coeur d'Alene. I'm tired of Coeur d'Alene. I want to go to Salt Lake City. And it's a wonderful, it's tiring. You'll actually get sick of it. But yeah, man, ever since I've been self-employed and location independent employed, the past 3 years have been amazing. I've seen more. We are so lucky. The one thing younger people like us, younger people, I'm 40, the one thing young generations now have that previous generations didn't, is this internet allowing you to work from wherever. It is so freeing, and you definitely have to avail yourself of it. So, I mean, you don't have to do a location-independent online business type thing, but I'd strongly advise it. So you got that there. Otherwise, yeah. And then as for like your concerns about the collapse, like, oh, I don't want to go from it. What, the United States collapses, you think Canada ain't going to go? If we go, we're taking everybody with it. There's not really going to be a place that's safe, except for like maybe Singapore, or maybe even Chile, or some, the Russians, that they got a military to back it up. And even then, man, you really want to live in Russia? I mean, just don't worry about it. Go get your guns, buy your silver, do what you need to prepare, and then go live life. Don't fucking worry about whether your fag Trudeau gets elected up there and becomes our Obama or your Obama. Don't worry. Just enjoy the decline. Go have fun. You're going to die in about 40, 50 years. And you might as well have fun, and don't worry about who's in office. Vote for the Conservative Party. Do the rear guard action thing. But don't worry about it. Come here, get some guns, be prepared, some iodine pills, compass, that kind of thing. That's all you can really do. And then don't worry about it anymore. You don't worry about it anymore. Anyway, best of luck. Toodles.